Baiklah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh dan selamat petang. Selamat datang diucapkan kepada para hadirin sekalian ke program Taklimat dan Pameran Public Private Research Network 2.0 Zon Tengah. Pada hari ini dimohon kepada para hadirin yang hadir dalam dewan ini agar dapat mengambil tempat duduk yang telah disediakan, kerana kita akan memulakan majlis ataupun sesi yang kelima pada petang ini sebentar sahaja lagi. Dimohon kepada para hadirin yang berada dalam dewan ini untuk mengambil tempat duduk yang telah disediakan, kerana kita akan memulakan sesi kita yang kelima sebentar sahaja lagi. Terima kasih. Baiklah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Majlis sekali lagi mengucapkan selamat datang kepada para hadirin sekalian ke program Taklimat dan Pameran Public Private Research Network 2.0 bagi Zon Tengah di Dewan Besar pada hari ini. Dan majlis pada petang ini akan diteruskan dengan menjemput dan mempersilakan Yang Berusaha Encik Muhammad Al-Fatih bin Muhammad Hizal dari Pusat Pengurusan Penyelidikan Universiti Teknologi Malaysia untuk meneruskan sesi taklimat mengenai tata kelola sistem Pprn. Majlis dengan segala hormatnya menjemput dan mempersilakan.
Cubaan suara. Terima kasih Tuan Pengerusi. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera hadirin hadirat sekalian. Tanpa melengahkan masa lagi, saya akan terus kepada pembentangan saya, iaitu tata kelola sistem Pprn. Seterusnya. Okey, jadi sistem Pprn ini terbahagi kepada 13 modul. 13 modul dan terbahagi kepada 3 fasa. Fasa pertama merangkumi pendaftaran dan juga proses saringan. Fasa kedua adalah pemakluman penganugerahan geran dan akhir sekali proses pemantauan. Jadi di sini kita boleh lihat fasa pertama seperti saya berkata tadi, bermula daripada pendaftaran akaun kepada pengaktifan akaun, penyerahan proposal, saringan dalaman, dan sekiranya ada pembetulan atau pindaan, dan diteruskan dengan proses penilaian 4 peringkat proses penilaian pada peringkat Pprn. Setelah selesai 4 peringkat penilaian sebentar tadi, sekiranya projek tuan-puan disyorkan oleh jawatan kuasa Pprn, akan dianugerahkan sistem akan menjana surat tawaran untuk proses seterusnya. Dan apabila proses pembangunan inovasi bermula, akan bermulanya juga proses pemantauan yang merangkumi pelaporan inception, pelaporan interim, pelaporan berkala dan final report. Dan akhir sekali bengkel. Seterusnya. Okey, jadi sebelum memulakan pendaftaran pengguna, saya menyarankan penyelidik dan juga pihak industri untuk mengenali satu sama lain agar dapat membuat persediaan sebelum permohonan, agar permohonan Pprn ini boleh berjalan dengan lancar. Sebab tanpa syarikat, penyelidik tiada fungsi untuk memohon, dan juga jika syarikat tiada penyelidik, tiada fungsi untuk memohon dalam sistem Pprn inilah. Seterusnya. Jadi setelah tuan-puan melayari laman web Pprn, tuan-puan akan boleh pergi ke menu register, dan di bawah itu akan ada 2 pilihan untuk mendaftar, sama ada akaun penyelidik ataupun akaun industri. Dan sekiranya tuan-puan adalah penyelidik, daftar pada borang penyelidik, dan jika tuan-puan adalah pihak industri, boleh daftar pada borang industri. 2 borang ni adalah borang yang berbeza, jadi sila berhati-hati waktu memilih borang lah. Okay, setelah tuan-puan mengisi borang dan menekan butang submit, bagi penyelidik, tuan-puan akan melihat indikator di atas yang menyatakan your account is pending for approval. Ini adalah untuk penyelidik. Jadi pada peringkat ini, penyelidik boleh menghubungi PPP institut masing-masing untuk mengesahkan akaun tuan-puan. Setelah akaun disahkan, indikator tersebut akan bertukar kepada congratulations, your account has been approved. Bagi pihak industri, akaun akan diaktifkan serta-merta, tetapi pihak industri perlu melengkapkan profil company supaya ketika penyelidik memulakan draft proposal, penyelidik boleh memilih nama syarikat. Jika syarikat atau industri tidak melengkapkan profil company ini, penyelidik tak akan jumpa nama syarikat dekat dalam tab proposal nanti. Juga jika PPP tidak mengesahkan akaun penyelidik tidak boleh memulakan sebarang draft proposal. Okey, seterusnya. Okey, di bawah tab proposal kita ada beberapa tab menu, termasuklah daripada jangka masa projek, perincian penyelidik, perincian syarikat, perincian institut, pengurusan ahli kumpulan atau ahli penyelidik dan perincian projek itu sendiri, bajet, sumbangan syarikat dan lampiran lah. Di sini sistem ini telah berjalan selama setahun melalui 3 fasa dan saya perasan banyak isu ketika memilih syarikat. Jadi saya akan jelaskanlah macam mana untuk menghadapi isu pendaftaran syarikat. Seterusnya. Okey, jadi di bawah tab menu syarikat sebentar tadi, sekiranya syarikat tidak melengkapkan profil syarikat seperti yang saya maklumkan sebentar tadi, nama syarikat tuan-puan tidak akan tersenarai di dalam senarai syarikat yang available lah. Jadi sila lengkapkan, dan jika sudah lengkapkan, pilih nama syarikat tersebut, jangan pilih nama syarikat penyelidik lain. Pilih nama syarikat yang tuan-puan telah bersetuju untuk memohon geran Pprn ni, dan save di dalam tab yang sama. Dan setelah tuan-puan save di dalam tab tersebut, akan ada di dalam tab team members akan ada status nama company edit dengan berstatus edit. Untuk menginvite company sebentar tadi, tekan butang send invitation tadi dan dia akan bertukar kepada status invited. Dan seterusnya adalah tindakan syarikat untuk menerima jemputan daripada penyelidik. Sekiranya benar itu penyelidik yang sama dan projek yang telah dipersetujui, tekan accept dan status syarikat akan automatik di-invite oleh penyelidik untuk proposal projek sebentar tadi. Seterusnya. Okey, ini satu lagi isu yang banyak dihadapi oleh pemohon. Di sini setelah selesai semua makluman yang diperlukan di dalam borang proposal sebentar tadi, di peringkat kita akan ada 2 peringkat. Pertama, deklarasi oleh penyelidik, dan kita kemudiannya adalah endorsement daripada syarikat. Jadi mula-mula penyelidik perlulah declare, agree and submit borang di atas. Akan ada di bawah tab declaration. Seterusnya akan keluar status company endorsement. Di sini untuk penyelidik dia akan nampak print dan add dokumen tadi. Tapi jika kita log masuk ke dalam akaun syarikat, dia akan keluar edit proposal. Jadi tekan edit proposal di situ, dan untuk syarikat dia akan nampak tab baru iaitu company endorsement. Seterusnya. Di sini company endorsement, di sini syarikat boleh tekanlah untuk endorsekan proposal tadi. Jadi pada stage ini sepatutnya proposal tadi telah disemak bersama untuk memastikan segala maklumat yang dimasukkan adalah benarlah. Jadi sebab amendment boleh dibuat selepas selesai internal evaluation. Jadi kalau boleh selesaikan dulu sebelum kita submit ni. Jadi setelah disubmit pada peringkat ni, dia akan terus pergi ke peringkat internal evaluation pada peringkat PPP lah. Ini adalah saringan pertama. Seterusnya. Okey. Pada peringkat saringan PPP, PPP akan memilih evaluator barisan penilai mereka masing-masing. Sama ada evaluator yang memang researcher sendiri yang sudah ada dalam sistem, ataupun penyelidik yang belum berdaftar dengan sistem. Jadi setelah melalui proses penilaian ini, jika tuan-puan punya projek berjaya, walaupun status dia recommended saja pun tak ada masalah, dia akan terus ke next phase untuk saringan oleh peringkat Pprn. Seterusnya. Okey, untuk saringan peringkat PPRN kita ada 4 bahagian. Seterusnya, kita ada penilaian prasaringan. Untuk penilaian prasaringan adalah untuk menyemakkan segala lampiran dokumen yang tuan-puan telah providekan pada proses proposal sebentar tadi. Untuk penilaian saringan pula akan ada saringan semula seperti saringan internal evaluation tadi, lebih kurang sama saja, dan diikuti dengan penilaian pembentangan. Pada proses penilaian pembentangan ni, bukan sahaja proposal tuan-puan akan dinilai secara keseluruhan, termasuk risiko, bajet dan juga financial report industri. Dan diakhiri dengan penilaian teknikal. Sekiranya tuan-puan punya projek beruntung dan berjaya melepasi 4 peringkat saringan ni, kita akan melalui satu proses penganugerahan grant lah. Jadi sekiranya disyorkan oleh jawatan kuasa PPRN untuk penganugerahan grant ni, sistem akan jana surat tawaran untuk menerima maklum balas daripada penyelidik dan juga syarikat. Dan jika proses ini juga dah selesai, kita dah masuklah ke fasa ketiga, iaitu fasa pemantauan. Di sini untuk penyelidik kita akan ada dapat macam 3 menu yang page yang saya letak kat sebelah kanan tu. Kira dia akan ada inception report, interim report, final report dan project final report lah. Jadi di sini penyelidik akan create report tu dan akan disahkan oleh syarikat pada ni lah, seperti dalam menu syarikat yang tu, invitation, inception report dan sebagainya tu. Dan pada peringkat ni juga sekiranya ada perubahan team members ataupun perlukan extension, boleh dibuat pada peringkat ni, tapi akan diluluskan oleh PPP sebelum boleh diluluskan oleh PPRN lah. Seterusnya, itu saja, selesai. Jadi saya serahkan semulalah kepada Tuan Pengerusi Majlis.
Baiklah, Majlis merakamkan ucapan ribuan terima kasih kepada Yang Berusaha Encik Muhammad Al-Fatih bin Muhammad Hizal di atas perkongsian yang bermanfaat kepada kita semua. Dengan ini Majlis ingin menjemput dan mempersilakan Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Wan Nur Hayati Wan Abdul Rahman selaku pengarah program untuk menyampaikan cenderamata kenang-kenangan. Dipersilakan. Baiklah, Majlis sekali lagi merakamkan ucapan ribuan terima kasih kepada Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Wan Nur Hayati Wan Abdul Rahman di atas kesudahan menyempurnakan majlis penyampaian cenderamata sebentar tadi.
Hadirin sekalian, tidak lengkap majlis rasanya jika tidak mendengar perkongsian dari salah satu projek yang terpilih untuk menyertai pameran Pprn 2.0 Zon Tengah. Tanpa melengahkan masa, majlis berbesar hati menjemput Yang Berusaha Teknologis Dr. Eddie Tan Tijih dari UiTM Kuala Pilah dan Encik Tan Tun Yang dari Nangyan Dreams International Trading Sdn Bhd dengan perkongsiannya kejayaan Project Development of Edible Bird's Nest Biopeptide Supplement. Dipersilakan.
Selamat petang kepada semua. Pertama sekali saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasihlah kepada pihak Kementerian Pengajian Tinggi atas jemputan to share a bit about our Pprn 2.0 project entitled The Development of Edible Bird Nest Biopeptide Supplement. Ini adalah jumlah yang kita perolehi daripada Kementerian Pprn telah sponsor sebanyak 70%, nearly 70K, and Nanyang Dreams sponsored another 30,000. Both of them funded this project, yeah, which consists of 103,000 ringgit. If you look at the duration, jelaslah projek ini telah diberikan pada zaman COVID, ya, sangat mencabar, dan baru dapat grant saja, terus kita disekat untuk bergerak. Ya. Jadi kita bertuah sebab Kementerian telah memberikan extension another 3 months for us to finish the project. Yes, so during this period of time, I think a lot of challenges we have faced, even the small things like issuance of local order, posting of the chemicals becomes extremely hard. Tetapi saya bersyukur sebab dengan kerjasama dengan industri, kita berjaya mengharungi segala ranjaunya. Ya. Thank you. This is my team members. Next slide. Yeah. So we are based in Kuala Pilah, food technologies, and then we have a chemist in this group, Dr. Atika, Nadia, Naima, Awin. 3 of them are the core researchers, and the last one, Darira, she is the research assistant employed under this funding. So this is our industrial partner, very committed, and they have spent enormous amount of time and effort to make this project a successful one. And beside me is Mr. Tan Tun Yang. He is the director of Nanyang Dreams International Trading Sdn Bhd. So untuk bisnes dia orang ni, dia mula dengan traditional bird nest products as a health supplement for elders. Kemudian kita dapati bahawa dia punya traditional products ni, kalau untuk orang muda, dia macam susah sikit lah. You kena bersihkan, you kena masak. So untuk generasi orang muda ni yang nak health supplement yang sihat, orang dah macam tak minat. Yeah? So that is the first challenge. Kemudian industry, Nanyang Dreams, they are very creative. Yeah? They venture into another range of products, which is the instant and bottle bird nest. Next slide. Yeah. Ini adalah instant bird nest dan juga bottle bird nest yang telah dihasilkan oleh mereka. Tapi walaupun dia lebih convenient, lebih senang dimakan, tetapi isunya adalah dia punya science element, technology element tu kurang. Yeah? Next. So the recent scientific discoveries, we noticed that from the abundance of literature review, it seems like the edible bird nest biopeptides, or some people call it as the hydrolysates, exhibit stronger functional properties. Yeah? So the issue with the company at that time, like two years ago, they do not have the strong research and product development team and lacking of sufficient research funding at that time. However, we managed to convince them to give us the seeding fund, approximately 3,000 plus, to kickstart the project for approximately 3 to 6 months. Yeah? And then we have the raw data available. That is probably one of the key points that we managed to convince Pprn Secretariat to provide us the grant. Yeah? So with limited scientific capabilities to develop edible bird nest biopeptides within the Nanyang Dreams capacity, so after several discussions, we sit together and we submit the proposal to develop the edible bird nest biopeptide. So this is the project timeline, starting with the project in November 2020. And then we have done several things like the sample preparation, removal of the nitrite and nitrate, and then solubilize the edible bird nest, clarification, processing, characterize them, up to the level of pilot scale production. Then we further characterize the pilot scale produced edible but nest biopeptides. And then we transfer the whole technology to Nanyang Dreams at the end. Yeah? So of course, all the researchers who are dealing with the PPRN, we need to provide sufficient of evidence. Yeah? So nowadays, if just verbally talking about what you have done is not sufficient, the photos or the videos will be quite crucial for the final reporting. So on the 2nd of November 2020, our RA, Darira, reported for duty at UiTM Kuala Pilah. And despite of the MCO, I still remember 2 years ago, we have to get the police permit, and then we have to obtain several clearance before Darira can come over to UiTM Kuala Pilah. And it was done by Nanyang Dreams at that time with their assistance. Yeah? They have carried her over to Kuala Pilah. So this is the sample preparation, a bit of grinding machine, homogenization, preheating process. And then this is the nitrate and nitrite removal process, because according to the food laws and regulation, there is a limit, of nitrite and nitrate concentration can be present in the edible bird nest. So initially we proposed using the electrolysis process to remove the nitrate and nitrite, but it seems it was not working. Yeah, these are the challenges that we faced at that time. And then Dr. Atika proposes, because she is a chemist, so she proposes to use the electrolyzed water. And then it seems it works, yeah? So we managed to reduce it down to non-detectable limit for all the edible bird nests that treated by using the electrolyzed water. And then the solubilization hydrolysis, we start up with the enzymes, different enzymes, food grade, non-food grades, yeah? And then, but at the end, the Nanyang Dreams requested that it should be halal and it should be food grade. So after several trials, we managed to sort out the suitable one, which is halal and food grade, yeah? So we have picked that one to proceed with the, what we call that, filtration process. Next. So these are the evidence, several trials, not several, but many trials, yeah? Next. Yeah, these are some of the evidence, what we have done in the lab. This is extremely important during the final report, yeah, to convince the panel to give us the status of tamat dengan jayanya lah, yeah. So this is the clarification process. It seems like very simple. As a food technologist, we thought that sometimes, yeah, clarification, just use filter pepper or use a filter, it can be done. But because the unique characteristic of edible bird nest, it is quite colloidal. So we have utilized several filtration methods and filtration materials. Only at the end, we managed to find one which is a suitable one to filter out the, what we call that, the impurities from the edible bird nest, yeah? So after 13 experiments, these are the outputs of our experimental work. Yeah, I think PPRN quite discouraged the, what we call the experimental work stuff, but I think if we have the directions just to fine-tune, PPRN should be okay, yeah? All right, next. So at the end, after 13 experiments with different parameters and adjustment, we were able to come out with this version of edible bird nest biopeptides, which is soluble, low turbidity, and food grade. And the most important thing is it is using the halal enzyme, yeah? So it is more convenient to use, and then it is safe to the consumer, and it can enhance its functionality. Yeah? So these are some of the data, so I will not get into detail about it. For those who are not in the field may not get interested, but just to showcase that There are scientific data generated from this project. And then we have this processing tank designed because of the movement control order. All the discussion can only be done through online meetings. Yeah? So it was very challenging to negotiate with the fabricators and then with Mr. Tan and the team. And then, but at the end, we still managed to make an arrangement to go to the fabrication factory to fabricate the pilot scale production tank. Yeah? Next. So the output are these. Transforming the traditional bottle and instant bird nest to something which we call it as the edible bird nest biopeptides, or if you like, you can call it edible bird nest hydrolysates. And then these particular products can be formulated in different products, either cosmetics or beverages. Yeah? So this is our end products that transferred to the Nanyang Dreams. Next. So these are some of the outputs. SOP, ni adalah janji kita dalam PPRN. SOP kena bagi. And then symposium proceedings, this is something which is extra that we have done for them. It is not part of the criteria or not part of the KPI, but we do extra for them by asking the industry to join some of the writing for the symposium. Yeah? Next. And then we managed to get the news coverage by UITM, the UITM News Hub, and then the official UITM Facebook. Previous slide, please. Previous. Yeah. And then we have this Pencipta 2022. We are very honored that KPT invited us to go to UMK, yeah, Kelantan, to exhibit. So we managed to meet up with TKSU and then several important figures in UITM and in KPT. Yeah? And then, as I mentioned just now, we have to do a bit more for the company to make them happy. Yeah? So I think that is the key elements that we need to instill in any PPRN project. If we are very calculative, I think they will not be happy. But of course, sometimes, yeah, the industry will request a lot of things. We need to set the border. Yeah? So we negotiate and then we come up with a threshold and then we stop there and then we move on again. So those are the things that we need to negotiate, but show our, what we call that, professionalism, yeah? in the negotiating process. Yeah? So this is something which is extra. We freeze-dry the edible bird nest biopeptides because the industry would like to know whether it is feasible to turn the liquid into the dried form. So we managed to produce a small-scale freeze-dried product for them. So they are very happy. And then I think, yeah, he just mentioned to me just now, some of the industry, especially from China, they would prefer this dried form instead of the liquid form. Yeah? Next. So we have done a patent search together with the company, and this is not being covered by UITM, yeah? And not covered by the project, but the industrial effort to make a patent search for this project. Yeah, next. And then video shooting in UITM. If according to Mr. Tan, approximately 20,000 has been spent on the video shooting in UITM to promote their products with, yeah. So that was a new experience for us as well. Though it is not easy, yeah, but we managed to do it, yeah. And then we have this HQ grant opening, the MOA exchange ceremony on the same day. So besides the edible bird nest PPRN project, we have signed the MOA. We have signed the consultation project as well, derived from this project, yeah. And then together with the HQ grant opening, we managed to invite several, what we call that, prominent figures in UITM and KPT to join this event. Next. Next. So these are some of the evidence. I think Dr. Wan came over to witness this HQ opening ceremony and the MOA's exchange ceremony. Next. So these are the list of VIP attended for the event. Next. And this is the thing that I want to highlight. Because of this project, I think Mr. Tan and his partner invested a lot in refurbishing the whole premise and office. Initially in 2019, when I was there, it was very confined area for the meeting, but because of this project, they have spent a lot to give the customers a new look. So my team members are quite impressed with the outputs. Next. Another achievement that we have obtained from this project is the research assistant funded under the Pprn project. Ms. Darira was absorbed directly to become the R&D and operation executive in Nanyang Dreams. So as you all can see here, from Puchong to Kuala Pilah, it took about 2 hours, but the industry, immediately after the day we end the project, they came all the way from Puchong to Kuala Pilah to pick her up. Takut sangat dia lari kan. Kalau lari susah. So I pun susah, dia orang pun susah. So dia orang datang, make sure she is secured and brought over to Puchong. So before I end, I would like to welcome Mr. Tan Tun Yang, the director of Nanyang Dreams International Trading Sdn Bhd, to deliver a bit of, to share a bit of her thought, of his thought. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Eddie. Such a nice speaking actually. Okay, how about this slide? Okay, so as a role of industry, I think it's very important for us to protect our research and our rights. That's why even we do the patent search, we are unable to to form the patent, but we still to go for trademark our research work, we name it Yen Sell It. Okay, it's a project that we work together with UITM and funded by Pprn. Next. Okay, based on our research, so the as what Dr. Eddie said just now mentions that we can for the from our research for the nanobiotypes, we can go into the cosmetic, even the beverage or food industry. But why we choose go for beverage is because on our research that the demand on the health products in non-alcohol beverage is have a very bright future. That's why the demand is very high in the future. Okay, next. Okay, so that's why we come out that with our anti-aging innovative Burnett Konjac jelly drinks with collagen and vitamin C. This is our first product introduced in the market. Okay, even from our previous traditional products like honey Burnett drink and aloe vera honey Burnett drink, we also add in our our nanobiotypes into our products in order to enhance the healthy and for the our empower it the benefit to our body. Okay, next. So even though that from the beverage we are not stopped from there, we are still going to the cosmetic industry. This is our first products, Yen Beauty Time Reverse Serums. Next. We also obtain the notifications of tokens, meaning that we are is recognized and is registered under KKM. And then we are not only care about what we take into our body, we are also care about what we use for external. Okay, next. Okay, this is our a bit about our milestone. Like it's okay. Next. Yeah. Okay, like just now Dr. Eddie says, it's on the 15th of October, year 2022. Once our first products launchings, we have one ceremony held in our premises at Bandar Puchong Jaya. So in order to announce to the world, or in order to has a appreciate token for as a to let the market know that we are ready enter into the market. And we are thanks for that Professor Dr. Yamin Yassin and Dr. Wan also come to witness it for our launching and our exchange of MOA. Next. Okay, even though that we are also proud that has been invited as a joint exhibitor in Penyelidikan 2022. We go along from KL to Kelantan and in order to participate it, in order to have more exposure and let the world know that our new product is coming up. Okay, next. So okay, we are also launching at the time for our online store. Even though you are interested, you can scan it and then you can try to get the information from our online store. Next. Okay. Due to the Chinese New Year is around for 2023, we also cooperate with the hamper, come up with a hamper series which with our products in the market. And then we are using online, and then we also have provide the delivery service in order to provide a better service to our customer. Next. Okay. We are not only online, we are also go on the field. We also have kiosk exhibitions in the waterfront at Dasar City. We have for 10 days before the Chinese New Year. And then the feedback and the crowd and the satisfaction is very positive for us. Okay, next. Okay, this is our achievement, a small, what I consider a small achievement. In these 2 months, we managed to get sold over about 100 boxes with 500 packets of collagen bird's jelly drinks and a revenue around 40K. Okay, next. We are also not stopped from there. Due to the Chinese New Year, we have a lot of event and gathering. We are also proud that we as a sponsor as a door gift for this MMC Chinese New Year business collaboration event nights. Next. Okay, not only from there, we also go far away, direct to Vietnam to join or to participate their Chinese New Year event. And I managed to meet up the Malaysia Business Chamber of Vietnam, the chairman there, and then also meet up our friends at the JCI Vietnam, the MMC Vietnam, and even a Malaysian who operate a business in Vietnam in order to have some experience exchange at the moment. Okay, next. So not only from that, we are also plan our future. Our future plan is go into China market. So we have a meetup Malaysia Henan Chamber of Commerce. We have their briefing sections with the tax department, and it's a direct Zoom meeting with the government department in order to know the details how our products enter into their country. Okay, next. Okay, I think just that's all from me, Dr. Eddie.
Last but not least, we would like to thank Mohe for the opportunities, giving us the grant. Without this grant, I think a lot of things we cannot do. And then because of this grant, we have done a lot of things. Yeah. And then special thanks to Dr. Wan as well for coming over for the HQ launching ceremony and product launching ceremony. And then thanks to UITM for all the opportunity. And then Nanyang Dreams for the enormous effort given to us. My team members, the research assistant and the lab assistants. Thank you all for all the support. Thank you.
Majlis merakamkan jutaan terima kasih kepada Yang Berusaha Teknologis Dr. Eddie Tan Tiji dan Encik Tan Tun Yang. Majlis menjemput Yang Berusaha Profesor Mada Dr. Wan Nurhayati Wan Abdul Rahman selaku pengarah program untuk menyampaikan cenderamata.
You were the shadow to my light. Did you feel us? Another star, you fade away. Afraid of
Majlis
every
merakamkan
sound
ucapan terima kasih.
alive. Where are you now?
Baiklah para hadirin sekalian, kita akan berhenti berehat buat seketika selama 5 minit dan sedikit makluman buat para hadirin yang hadir pada hari ini. Pihak majlis juga ada menyediakan jualan makanan dan juga minuman seperti pasta, cendol, roti dan sebagainya yang boleh didapati di food truck luar Dewan. Dan selain daripada itu juga terdapat galeri pameran produk inovasi dari Putra Science Park, penerbit UPM, Universiti Malaya dan juga beberapa syarikat yang menjual produk mereka seperti My Miracle, Provil Tech Sdn Bhd, Carbotech Sdn Bhd, Nutritech Sdn Bhd dan juga penerbit UPM. Dan para hadirin, kita akan berhenti berehat buat seketika. Sambil berehat tu bolehlah berkunjung ke ruang-ruang pameran yang telah disediakan. Dan kita akan jumpa lagi dalam tempoh 5 minit. Baiklah hadirin sekalian, majlis diteruskan lagi dengan sesi pertukaran dokumen perjanjian pelesenan antara Universiti Putra Malaysia dan pihak industri. Universiti Putra Malaysia berbesar hati dan mengalu-alukan kerjasama dengan pihak Nutritech Manufacturing Sdn Bhd. Dan untuk makluman hadirin sekalian, Nutritech Manufacturing Sdn Bhd adalah syarikat yang menghususkan pembuatan produk makanan tambahan dan penjagaan kulit melalui kaedah penghilang peralatan asal OEM dan juga pengeluar reka bentuk asal ODM.
Teknologi sagu prebiotik oleh Yang Berusaha Profesor Dr. Syarul Raziz Sabrini dari Fakulti Sains Perhutanan dan Pertanian dan Perhutanan Kampus Bintulu UPM mempunyai potensi dalam menangani obesiti dan meningkatkan kesihatan usus. Produk sagu biotik ini boleh digunakan di dalam formulasi makanan atau minuman berfungsi seperti produk rumusan susu kanak-kanak. Inovasi ini juga berpotensi menyumbang kepada ekonomi luar bandar terutama di Sarawak dan dapat meningkatkan reputasi sagu sebagai komoditi tanaman penting di Sarawak dan juga di Malaysia.
Sidang hadirin yang dihormati sekalian, untuk makluman para hadirin, Putra Science Park atau singkatannya PSP merupakan peneraju pengurusan harta intelek dan inovasi bagi UPM. PSP juga terlibat dalam aktiviti pemindahan teknologi UPM dengan menggerakkan teknologi dan penyelidikan dari makmal ke pasaran.
Dengan ini, majlis menjemput pengarah Nutritech Manufacturing Sdn Bhd yang berusaha Encik Adrian Choi Kang Soon, yang berusaha Cik Lee Poi Chin dan yang berbahagia Profesor Insinyur Dr. Haji Kamarudin Arifin Ahmad diiringi Profesor Madya Dr. Wan Nur Hayati Wan Abdul Rahman ke pentas bagi sesi pertukaran dokumen perjanjian pelesenan. Dengan segala hormatnya dipersilakan.
Baiklah para hadirin sekalian, marilah kita sama-sama menyaksikan pertukaran dokumen perjanjian pelesenan antara Universiti Putra Malaysia diwakili oleh yang berbahagia Profesor Insinyur Dr. Haji Kamarul Arifin bin Ahmad, pengarah Putra Science Park, dan juga Nutritech Manufacturing Sdn Bhd diwakili oleh yang berusaha Encik Adrian Choi Kah Song, pengarah Nutritech Manufacturing Sdn Bhd, dengan disaksikan oleh yang berusaha Cik Lee Poi Chin dan juga yang berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Wan Nur Hayati Wan Abdul Rahman.
Hadirin sekalian, berakhir sudah sesi pertukaran dokumen perjanjian pelesenan pada petang ini. Majlis mendoakan agar kerjasama yang dijalinkan antara pihak Universiti Putra Malaysia dengan Nutritech Manufacturing Sdn Bhd akan memperkasakan pengkomersialan inovasi yang dihasilkan oleh UPM dan seterusnya membawa kepada kemakmuran ekonomi dan kesejahteraan masyarakat. Majlis merakamkan ucapan terima kasih kepada yang berbahagia pengarah Putra Science Park dan yang berusaha Encik Adrian di atas kesudian menyempurnakan pertukaran dokumen perjanjian pelesenan sebentar tadi.
Hadirin sekalian, baiklah tanpa melengahkan masa lagi, majlis dengan ini ingin menjemput dan mempersilakan yang berbahagia Profesor Insinyur Dr. Haji Kamarul Arifin bin Ahmad, pengarah Putra Science Park, untuk berkongsi mengenai pengalaman kejayaan akademia industri Putra Science Park UPM. Majlis dengan segala hormatnya menjemput dan mempersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you Mr. and Mrs. Chairperson for the introduction. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, assalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wa mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. First and foremost, thank you everyone for coming to the program today, especially for the morning session and also for the afternoon session. As all knows that today program is in conjunction with the Pprn exhibition and introduction for every public universities, polytechnics, and also not to forget the private universities. So from morning until just now, we have been listening to all the exposure about the available grants, research grants, and also the success story between collaboration between academic institution and also private sectors, which is industry. And most of the contents that we heard this morning, especially how we heard that Pprn is just one of the ecosystem, okay, of this collaboration. And this ecosystem need a platform. Okay, this ecosystem need a platform that this platform should manage. Okay, should manage whatever output from the collaboration between the academics and the industry, and not only to manage, but also to promote. Okay, to promote, to exhibit, and finally to commercialize the product coming from collaboration of industry and academics. So this is what PSP is all about. As being mentioned by the chairperson, PSP stands for Putra Science Park, okay, under the purview of Deputy Vice Chancellor UPM. PSP in UPM is, I can say, the pioneer of the commercialization platform in university. We have been doing this commercialization activity since before 2006. Okay, before 2006, during that time, PSP known as Innovation and Commercialization Center. Okay, and before that time as well, the product that being protected, which is the IP, intellectual properties, has been commercialized. One of the famous products from UPM is the chicken vaccine. Okay, the chicken vaccine. And that is fully developed by the local researchers, local experts, and fully commercialized or marketed by local companies. This company is actually our startup companies originated from UPM. So as time goes by, this center has evolved. Can you move again to the previous slide, please? Okay. So as time goes by, the center now is known as Putra Science Park. Okay. From a small center now, we become a full-fledged entity that manage UPM IP, okay, manage UPM IP, promote, exhibit, and commercialize UPM IP. Okay, it looks simple, promote and exhibit. For example, like today, we actually coordinate exhibition almost every week. Okay, if you can say a small scale, medium scale, and even large scale. Okay, can we move on? We also, when you say commercialization, we also organize, or we are the one who manage the technology transfer activities. Once the industry agreed to, let's say, to license our IP, okay, once the industry agreed to license our IP, then we have to manage. We have to have a good system of the technology transfer activities so that both parties agreed. Okay, kedua pihak perlu bersetuju terhadap term sheet yang kita berikan kepada pihak penyelidik dan juga kepada pihak industri. Seterusnya, at this time we have about 22 full-fledged staff in our platform. Okay, me as the director of the Putra Science Park. So we have two main divisions. The first division is under Prof. Dr. Rusmawati Said, which is the Intellectual Property Division. The second division is under Associate Professor Dr. Wan Nur Hayati, our director of this program today. Yes, that's Dr. Wan Nur Hayati. And she's responsible for the Innovation, Promotion and Commercialization Division. We have two big divisions. Okay, the first division, the IP division, is to identify, to recognize, and to manage the IP. Why? It is important because we have 1,500 researchers, 1,500 penyelidik. Itu academic. Non-academic, we have about another 1,000. Okay, just to let you know, we accept product not only from academics, we also accept product from the supporting staff. If the supporting staff have a very good idea, innovated product, they bring to us and we can protect if it has novelty, originality, and commercialization value. Okay? Because we want to protect the idea, whoever they are, from UPM staff. Okay? So under those two divisions, we have section that manage the agreement, okay, and manage the technology transfer, and also manage the financial account of this transaction. Okay, move on. Right, as I mentioned before, we are the pioneer in public universities. We can say since I started as the director of this Putra Science Park, I think more than 5 public universities have came to us to learn about how to manage and how to promote, exhibit, and commercialize IP. Okay, I don't want to name any universities lah, but more than 5 came to us because we are the first. I'm not saying that we are the best, but when we are the first one who will facing all the new problems that nobody have faced before. Okay? For example, later I will talk about startup companies. How difficult it is in terms of who should be the shareholder. Is it ethical to have lecturers as a shareholder or whatnot? Okay? So those are the issues that we face not now, but few years back. Okay? So those are the issues that, alhamdulillah, we managed to face that and we managed to overcome that issues. And alhamdulillah, that's why we got all this recognition from the Ministry of related ministry. Okay? Next. Right. University is a center of innovation. Okay, it is compulsory for all the academic staff to perform research. As you all know, it's good to have research grant, student graduated, PhD, master, and then have publications. As mentioned by Datuk Rahman, the Vice Chancellor of USM, what's next? After you have published Q1 journal, the high impact journal, you have produced new knowledge, what's next? You have spent many ringgit. I don't want to tell how many millions ringgit perhaps, or 100,000 ringgit. Is it just for the sake of publication? It's good. Publication, I'm not saying publication is not good, it's good, because that will increase the reputation of the university, the reputation of the academic staff. But what's next? So, PSP is actually a platform that identifies that the product not only can be published, but the product also can be brought into different arena, which is in terms of IP, intellectual properties. And these intellectual properties cannot stop there. We have to promote, we have to exhibit, and we have to commercialize the IP. Okay? And therefore, we have to engage with the industry and the community, because the community is the end user. Okay, the people are the end user. The industry is the one who to provide the solution that being established or being, being produced by the researchers. Those are actually the ecosystem. Next. Right, so in PSP, we lead and we manage the IP commercialization. It started from the very beginning, from the IP management, from the IP protection and maintenance. Why we need to commercialize the IP, okay, intellectual properties? Because all IP incur costs, okay? Not only for filing, but also to maintain the IP incur costs. Dia memerlukan cost, memerlukan duit. And where does duit come from? Duit come from when you are selling the IP to the industry. That is the one how to maintain this platform. After you manage the IP, then you have to promote, you have to market of the IP, business, networking, matching, and showcase. It looks simple. As I said, it looks simple, but as I said, the exhibition that we coordinate is almost every week. Almost every week. My staff are very exhausted every week. Even though we are government servant, we serve as a private sector staff, and yeah, and it does not guarantee returns. You know, you exhibit, you may have some interested customer, but at the end, perhaps the deal is off. Okay. So we are not only depends on exhibition, we depends on also social media. We depends on personal connection. If you know some companies, we depends on networking, business networking through perhaps golfing, playing golf together, and identify if they are interested to get into this or to know about our IP. I would like to share. Saya nak share satu ni lah Mr. Adrian yang tadi. Bagaimana syarikat beliau bersetuju untuk membeli produk Sago tadi daripada Prof. Syarul daripada Google search. Okay, that's coincidence lah. Okay, itu coincidence, but you just cannot depends on one channel only. You have to depends on many channel, termasuklah website, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and whatnot, all these new technologies. But the hardcore of the promotion activities like exhibition, like today program also need to be done, okay, in order to promote and to exhibit the IPs. And it doesn't stop there. The next step is the technology transfer. It looks easy as well, but you need to ensure both parties, because PSP is the platform. PSP need to ensure that researchers and the industry are in a good agreement. Both must agree to the terms and conditions before they sign. Otherwise, because now, I rephrase, there will be problem later on if one of the parties does not agree to the terms and conditions in the agreement. Okay? And it may bring, like I think Dato' Rahman said this morning lah. Initially, it's in a good mood between the researchers and industry, but as the research goes by, tak bercakap. Maksud meeting masing-masing menyalahkan satu sama lain disebabkan agreement yang sebenarnya tidak disetujui oleh salah satu pihak. Okay, so that's also need to be managed by PSP. And finally, the commercialization segment, kita tak berhenti di situ sebab kita ada networking. Kita network dengan MIDA, kita MITI, kita network dengan few government agencies, so we can channel the industry that buy our IP to the appropriate government agency so that they can apply for mass manufacturing grant, for example. Okay, so that is one of our tasks. Okay, because we are not going to stop after selling, no. After service, we have to give all the opportunities. We even bring the company that bought the license with us to the exhibition. Okay, so that's one of the activities, after-sale activities that we do for commercialization segment. Next. Okay, this is the engagement process. We, in PSP, anyone who are interested in the technology, we will meet up with the researchers, okay? We will explain A to Z about the technology so that the industry fully understand before he agreed to sign the agreement. We don't want later on, dulu you janji macam ni, produk ni tak ada pun. We don't want that to happen. Okay? So, when selalunya industri dia mula-mula memang dia okay je kan. Tapi later on, they will come back to us and say, dulu tak macam ni. So, we need to really get agreement from the very beginning. So, bila dah dua-dua setuju, when both parties agreed, okay, both will sign the term sheet agreement. Both must be a win-win situation, okay, about the cost, whether it's exclusive or non-exclusive, territorial, Malaysia saja, is it northern part of Malaysia, southern part of Malaysia, or west part of Malaysia. So itu semua kena agree, okay. Harganya pun berlainan. Berapa harga lesen semua itu kami punya trade secret lah. How we decide on the price. Saya tak boleh nak expose lah. Nanti Dr. Wan marah saya. Okay. We cannot expose that. And then, when all agreed, we are going to send to our legal, UPM legal, and the company will send to their company legal. When both legals are in a good agreement, then we can sign for MOA signing. And what you witnessed today is in that stage, MOA signing. We completed MOA signing, and you just witnesses between us and Mr. Andrian team. We are moving into technology transfer stage, the last stage. Okay, so you can see it's a full spectrum from the filing of the IP until the technology transfer activities. It's a full spectrum. We cover everything. Okay, next. Okay, so this some of the terms that included in the term sheet. Usually, whether it's exclusive or non-exclusive, is it the companies require some R&D, research and development? Because usually when the industry require research and development, it may be a derivable IP later on, terbitan IP baru. Jadi siapakah yang patut berhak menjadi owner to that IP? So itu perlukan discussion dan agreement for both parties. Okay. Juga sewaktu teknologi transfer ini, assistant with upscaling cost, growth fund from other agencies, as we are very close with MTDC and all the government agencies, we can channel into that area so that the company is not alone, because the IP that we are licensed to the companies is actually usually a lab prototype. Okay, so the industry want to make as a mass manufacturing, so they need some seed fund to alleviate from lab prototype into mass manufacturing product. So in order to do that, they need fund. So we can channel them to appropriate agencies. And we also can linkage with other companies that have networking with us. And we also can channel to the whole spectrum of our expert in UPM. Sorry. So as mentioned by Dr. Rahman, we have, in Malaysia, we have almost 25,000 PhD holders. 25,000, and about 1,400 of them are in UPM. Okay, PhD holders. So we have experts in all full spectrum from agriculture, computer science, engineering, medical, pharmacy, vet, so you name it. Okay? So by engaging us, we are opening a channel to communicate with all the experts that are available in UPM. Okay, next. So these are our achievements so far. Okay, we have total active intellectual properties 1,921. These include patents, UI, utility invention, copyright, trademark, and also trade secret. Okay. And 223 of them we successfully commercialized. Okay, since 1980s until now. Okay. And total industry gross sales from the product, meaning the commercialized product, meaning that the company that bought the license managed to sell how much? So it's about 71.5 million ringgit for the past 30 years. Besides that, we also have InnoHub program. Okay, later I will talk about what is this InnoHub program. But so far, we have 42 startup companies, active startup companies. Majority of them already graduated from the program. Graduated meaning that they are no longer under supervision or under monitoring of PSP. And this startup program includes 83 innovation products, and the investment that we managed to secure for the startup program is about 19.2 millions. Okay, for these 42 companies. Next. As I said, one of our best seller, which is the chicken vaccine, and MVP, Malaysian Vaccine and Pharmaceutical Companies, is actually one of our spin-off company. From 1990s until now, he has achieved more than 10 million gross sales. Okay, every year until now, from the past 30 years until now, we receive real royalty from the company between 50 to 100,000 per year. Okay, royalty. And then of course we have, as UPM is agriculture based, okay, our niche area is agriculture, we are actually promoting agriculture, and we have these two bestseller products, Zappa and Vitagrow. Okay, Zappa is for the paddy. Okay, Vitagrow is foliar fertilizer. Okay, so both products have generate sales more than 24 million ringgit for the past, I think, about 10 years. And then we also have some of our startup companies like Lipid West Berhad. Remdi, you can see the product out there, where this is being promoted by our own lecturer, because they are part of the InnoHub program. Okay, and we also have Hallways Berhad. Hallway is the seeds for fish. And also we have Carbotex Berhad, the photosynthesis enhancer, photosynthesis. Okay, so these are some of our products from InnoHub program. And we are not only promoting startup companies, because researchers like us, academic staff, are usually nerds. Nerds? We are good in the lab, but we are not no good in speaking in the public, promoting, exhibit ourselves. No, it's not us. We are good in our lab doing computer programming or doing experiment or whatnot. So, to help the researcher to promote their products, we need a talent that can speak, that can exhibit, that can promote, that can do all stuff that nerds cannot. Okay, so the InnoHub program is actually also a program that train someone or somebody to be CEO of the company. This CEO shouldn't be nerd. This CEO must have some caliber, some charismatic characteristic, so that he can bring the product to move forward. Okay, next please. So this animal vaccine, as I said before, have been sold in more than 20 countries. Oh, it's already 4 o'clock. Okay, can we move next? This is our latest success story. Vaksin kambing, senang cerita, ST-Vax 7. Okay, vaksin kambing. Nak ceritanya, vaksin dipatenkan 15 tahun yang lepas. Okay, 15 tahun lepas. But some may say, why we wait for 15 years? Because during that time, perhaps the industry cannot accept this technology. But finally, last year, we signed agreement to jual patent ini kepada industri, harganya 4 juta. Alhamdulillah. Okay, one of our success story. Tepuk sikit. Right, next. So these are the Zappa and Vitagrow. Next, fertilizer. Okay, next. This remedy sensitivity skincare. Ini juga salah satu success story for us. Dia telah dijual di negara China dan juga berada di lebih 500 klinik dan farmasi di Malaysia dan Singapura. You boleh check lah di beberapa farmasi di Malaysia dan Singapura. Dan especially this skincare is actually for eczema patient lah. Okay. Next. Tohiro. So ini juga startup companies yang bermula daripada pensyarah. Okay, and then ini special. CEO-nya adalah bekas PhD student. We know him very well. Dan dia dah graduated lah dengan PhD. Dan dia memang bukan kerja dengan, dia tak boleh kerja dengan, bukan tak boleh kerja dengan orang. Dia tak suka bekerja di bawah orang. Dia suka jadi bos lah. So basically dia jadi CEO lah of the company. Okay. Alhamdulillah, and he did very well in this industry. Next. And then we have Origol, that licensing more than 100,000 ringgit. And just to let you know, this Origol is one of our late researcher lah. But now the company has been passed down to his children. Okay. And then we have HS Gold, Sauda Premium product. Ini melalui supercritical fluid extraction lah, bawah biotech faculty. Next. Okay. Bagi saya 5 minit lagi. Right. So InnoHub program, dia tak boleh hanya buka company saja. Okay. Ia akan gagal kalau kita kata, you buka lah company and then you market sendiri. No. Because you don't know the market, you don't have people to market it for you, and you don't have the fund untuk cover all the costs incur. Okay? And also, you don't have the mentorship. Okay? So all these 4, the main factors for company to excel is being embedded in our program, InnoHub program. So what we did, we call up the captain of industry to be part of the mentor. Okay? Some of the mentor are from the captain of industry. Some of the mentor is coming from, even from the unsuccessful company. Because we want to learn the mistake that they have done, so that we don't want to repeat it again. Okay? So, in short, InnoHub program is to generate startup companies with a proper ecosystem, with a proper environment, so that these startup companies can bring the IP from UPM to the next level. Meaning next level is to open market segment. Okay? Next. Yep. So we want to promote our speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Wan Nur Hayati, as one of our trainer. Okay, because PSP, as I said before, we are the pioneer and we are the reference center for most of the public universities or even private universities, local and international. We have trained Brunei universities, Indonesia coming to us, from Africa, even from Japan, even came to us. I don't know why Japan came to us, but we just accept their visit lah. So if you want to know more and how we manage things, we also conduct training, okay, to all, even government agency or private companies, how we handle IP and how we promote, how we exhibit, and how we commercialize IP. Okay, next. And then, other than that, we also can give training for innovation, how we identify, how we recognize, and how we select product from the researchers, whether it is novel, original, or it is required by the market demand. Okay, how we do that, how we manage to do that successfully so far. So that's also is one of our key training for the newcomers to this segment of commercialization of the IP. Next. So that's about it. I think to share the whole story about PSP takes more than half an hour lah. It takes maybe 2 days to tell you the story of. It's not all rosy stories. There is a sad story as well. Okay, there is angry story also. Okay, but we have to face that. Those are the challenges when you are embarking in commercialization of IP. It's not like publishing papers. Publishing papers Q1, Q2, or Q4 is different from embarking in this journey. It's totally different. So with that, I end my segment. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Baiklah, majlis merakamkan jutaan terima kasih kepada yang berbahagia Profesor Insinyur Dr. Haji Kamarul Arifin bin Ahmad, pengarah Putra Science Park, di atas perkongsian sebentar tadi. Baiklah, sedikit makluman buat para hadirin sekalian yang berada dalam dewan ini. Para hadirin boleh mendapatkan minuman Miku secara percuma dari gerai Agro PV yang boleh didapati di foyer dewan ini selepas selesainya majlis kita pada petang ini. Baiklah, tanpa melengahkan masa lagi, majlis dengan berbesar hati, kita akan teruskan majlis pada petang ini dengan menjemput dan mempersilakan Yang Berusaha Teknologis Dr. Azlin binti Abdul Jamil, Pegawai Pemasaran dari Pejabat Timbalan Anak Chancellor Penyelidikan dan Inovasi Universiti Teknologi Malaysia dengan perkongsian yang bertajuk Kaedah Memohon Insentif Pengurangan Cukai. Majlis dengan segala hormatnya menjemput dan mempersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Okay, can we try to check the slide whether it is on? Ni slide Universiti Melayu. Okey. Saya intro dululah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nama saya Azlin binti Abdul Jamil. Saya dari Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. Testing, okey. I'm from Universiti Tinggi Malaysia, from the Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation Office, and my present here is to share about double tax deduction, inshallah, to have all our collaborators to listen and get to know how they can actually utilize DTD through the approved institution. So, yeah. Okay. Yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Nazamid Syahari, Timbalan Naib Chancellor Pendidikan dan Inovasi UPM. Yang berbahagia Profesor Insinyur Dr. Kamarul Arifin Ahmad, Pengarah Putra Sains Park UPM. Yang berbahagia Dr. Wan Nurhayati Wan Abdul Rahman, Pengarah Program. Tanya Doktor ya, saya biasa dengan Dr. Wan. InsyaAllah sebelum ni sejak PSP dah lama dulu insyaAllah. UTM was one of the one that mentioned by Prof. Nazamid tadi, Prof. Kamarul tadi yang melawat UPM to benchmark on the process of commercialization and innovation. Okay, so Alhamdulillah we benchmark UPM and vice versa, and we shall together achieve the success for the Malaysian innovation ecosystem prosperity insyaAllah. Okay, silakan. So, double tax deduction for taxpayers, okay? So, yeah, every one of us, okay, we need to pay tax. We are the taxpayers, but that for income tax individual payment that we pay is for individual income testing. Okay, sorry. That is for individual income tax. So today I'm going to share about how an organization, okay, companies can apply for double tax deduction, okay, from an approved institution. For example, Universiti Tinggi Malaysia has been awarded as an approved institution by LHDN, okay, since 1991. So this has been a very good incentives to our collaborator who wants to work with Universiti Tinggi Malaysia to develop solution to their problem. So as per se, solution is within the area of research and innovation. It has to be within research. The collaboration between the company and university can be one that be exploited to prosper and benefit the company for their business enhancement. So what is it? What is actually double tax deduction? So normally tax deduction is an amount that can be subtracted from your taxable income to reduce your tax liability, kan? So double tax deduction that I'm talking about is the double amount that you can deduct from the tax that is taxable from the income, from your income, to reduce your company's tax liability. I'm sorry, when I say your, is the company, not an individual. So double tax deduction for a company to get deducted from your income, okay, you can apply through your contribution to an approved institution for research activities. Next. Thank you. There are actually a few categories of tax deduction. So, as approved by LHDN, kan? Seperti approved by LHDN under the Act of Income Tax, okay, 1967, under the subsection of 34B and A is the section which Universiti Tinggi Malaysia, and I believe other approved institutions can allow, can actually encourage the collaborator to apply for DTD. So for UTM, okay, we are certified under the Income Tax Act 1967 subsection 34B. Next. So this sharing is going to be a short one. if you have already experience in applying DTD, okay, double tax deduction. But if you have any question related to your experience applying DTD, we can share together later on in the Q&A session. So this is the certificate that we can share with you to prove that we are approved, we are certified and approved, certified as an approved institution. So we encourage double tax deduction to our collaborator because we want to increase the number of collaboration between UTM and local industry through science and technology-based research activities. It is also to improve local industrial companies' quality and productivity through their research collaboration with UTM. When they conduct research with UTM, we hope we can develop good solution through R&D to solve their technical problem. Last but not least, the objective of DTD, when UTM encouraged to be conducted and prosper with the company, is to distinguish, in fact, between regular industry-sponsored contract research grant and a unique one, which can allow you to deduct double time of your taxable income. Okay, so that is quite a good incentive as your tax exemption. Thank you. What we can see here is the difference between Section 34A and B mentioned in the Income Tax Act 1967 by LHDN. For UTM, we are awarded, as an approved institution to give double tax deduction for any research activities contributed. Any research activities funded by industrial collaborator, to conduct research, in fact, the amount that is contributed to the research can be awarded double time of tax deduction for the company when they claim for tax deduction in their assessment year. Okay? Thank you. This is another point which should encourage you to understand further about how you can apply DTD through approved institution research activities. So in order for you to develop solution through R&D conducted by the university, in order for you to apply, to contribute, to approve institution and apply for DTD, you are urged to understand how you can implement it. For this intention, you need to know that research that you want to conduct with the approved institution has to be in the science and technology based off research area. So it has to be science and technology. This is applied and implemented at UTM. The company also has to understand that the research that they want to conduct has to give direct benefits to the core business of the company. This is one important thing for you to know to get the DTD when you apply from LHDN. There will be, LHDN in fact will conduct audit session regularly actually to any project, that is any company that intend to apply, that actually have conducted research activity with any approved institution, has pumped in money and intend and attempt to apply for DTD at the final year of assessment of their tax income. So during this time, the audit will actually assess the category and design of the research that have been conducted with the approved institution. It has to be, and it has to give direct benefits to the core business of the company. Okay, for example, if a company is conducting and actually commercializing or selling biotechnology products, okay, the research activities has to be related with the biotechnology research and development. Okay, it cannot be any simple market research or any irrelevant and unconnected and disconnected of activities from their core business, from the company's core business. And ultimately the activity has to be in research activities. This has been repetitively mentioned by me just now. It has to be research. Okay, how do we actually differentiate between research and non-research? So other than research, okay? In UTM, we declare research is every activities that related to the development of an innovation and will be developed in labs, will go through a process of testing. I mean, in the first place, proof of concept, testing, a prototype development, and so on. So you can, if you can imagine the whole set of life cycle of a product development from ideation to technology readiness level 1, 2, 3, up to 6. This is the research level which declared by Universiti Technology Malaysia. But if you conduct a process of just to multiply the number of your product, which is not involving any testing or any further research, the company is not allowed to apply for DTD because that is not research. You just pump in money to UTM. Maybe you just pump in money to UTM for replicating the product and just want to sell it. And if you try to claim from LHDN double tax deduction from that and such activities, the application will be rejected. Okay, next. So this is a simple example about how the company can actually apply for double tax deduction. As I can share with you, this is you can see the comparison between when a company make an income for the year, okay, if they apply for double tax deduction, okay, this is an example when they contribute 50,000 ringgit to an approved institution. So this is where 50,000 ringgit times 2 amount of allowable deduction of double tax that the company can get. Okay, this is just a simple example. And you can see it is very much convincing for a company to get more tax deduction if they contribute research grant to university or approved institution. Okay, next. Well, this is just to share with you in UTM, Research Management Center is the one who will actually monitor and manage the project of contract research contributed and collaborated with the company. Okay, there is no limit to contribution by the company. You can apply from 1,000 ringgit to hundreds of thousand ringgit for activities of research that you want to conduct with Universiti Malaysia. But in case of Universiti Malaysia, it's just that we cannot tap for example, MIRA, because they limit they actually set the limit for UTM to tap MIRA score up to 10,000 ringgit Malaysia contribution and above, so on. It's okay. You can contribute from 1,000 to more hundreds of ringgit, in fact, according to the needs of the development of research, okay? So in UTM, we offer only 5% of service charge, okay? For the company, when you want to contribute for research with UTM, and as well as to promote you to apply for DTD. It has to be cash. It cannot be in kind, because the approved institution needs to produce the receipt of acceptance of the cash money inserted into the account of university, and that receipt will be collected by the company to be submitted to LHDN for the application of DTD. Okay. In UTM, we actually implement the process through through a process with a set of committee or panel who will actually assess the eligibility of a proposal by a company. So this panel will review the application by company and will check and advise whether the proposal comply with the level of acceptation and acceptance of LHDN according to whether the proposal is eligible as it is an R&D or not. If it is not an R&D project, it will be reverted to the applicant, the company, and the lead researcher to actually repair and repropose to the panel of reviewer. Okay. Panel of reviewer will distribute actually an approval letter to the lead researcher and the company, and that approval letter will then be submitted to Research Management Center in UTM and to be complied with other documentation that is required by LHDN. Next, please. So this is the process of how we conduct DTD in UTM, step-by-step procedures of DTD at UTM. This is just a simple graphic, but we can have more detailed discussion about the process that is conducted by UTM when you need it. Later on, please come to UTM. You are welcome to come to UTM for to have this further sharing session about DTD. Okay. Before I conclude, I would love to share with you the deliverables of application for DTD is expected to be monitored by UTM Research Management Center according to the period of time set and stated in the project proposal, agreed by the company together with the lead researcher, as well as RMC is responsible to check the deliverable according to the objectives of the project. Okay, there should be a disclaimer from me. I should highlight a disclaimer about the approved institution. In fact, UTM is not actually responsible if the company unable to make any double tax deduction when they apply to LHDN in response to ineligibility of application, in response to unavailability of the team members to comply with all the process that is being stated in the project proposal. Well, straightforward, if the project is failed, your proposal to LHDN for DTD will also be rejected. That is the ultimate conclusion about DTD from me. So, I think that's all from me. It is quite general, But if you need more information about double tax deduction that is experienced by UTM, you can contact me and or my team. In fact, you can contact me at 019-776-9000 or email to azlinjamil@utm.my. Thank you so much. That is all sharing from me. Thank you.
Allah Majlis merakamkan jutaan terima kasih kepada Yang Berusaha Teknologi Dr. Azlin Abdul Jamil di atas perkongsian sebentar tadi. Dengan ini Majlis ingin menjemput dan mempersilakan Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Wan Nur Hayati binti Wan Abdul Rahman selaku pengarah program untuk menyampaikan cenderamata kenang-kenangan. Dipersilakan. Baiklah, majlis sekali lagi merakamkan ucapan ribuan terima kasih kepada Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Wan Nur Hayati dan juga Yang Berusaha Teknologi Dr. Azlin Abdul Jamil di atas persediaan bersama-sama dalam majlis pada petang ini.
Hadirin yang dihormati sekalian, tibalah kepada sesi terakhir kita pada majlis hari ini. Pada petang yang bermakna ini, kita rasa amat bertuah sekali kerana bersama dengan kita adalah Yang Berusaha Profesor Dr. Saiful Anwar Karsani, Pengarah Eksekutif Institut Pengurusan dan Perkhidmatan Penyelidikan Universiti Malaya dengan tajuk perkongsian Research for Social and Economic Benefit, Serving the Nation, Impacting the World. Majlis dengan segala hormatnya mempersilakan.
Boleh pakai ni tak? Boleh pakai wireless mic tak? Tak hidup Okey, terima kasih Puan Musi Majlis. Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera dan selamat petang. Pertama kali saya ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kerana masih ada yang tinggal sehingga ke akhir 4.30 ni. Presenter terakhir jadi saya risau sikit lah, kok semua dah balik kan cakap dengan kursi tak biasa kan. Okey, jadi terima kasih. Okey. So untuk ini saya akan lebih berkongsi berkenaan dengan pengalaman di Universiti Malaya, dan the sharing session ni tidak spesifik atau khusus kepada Pprn, tetapi lebih kepada effort yang telah dijalankan oleh Universiti Malaya untuk menggalakkan interaksi dan juga kerjasama di antara penyelidik-penyelidik di Universiti Malaya dan juga pihak yang berkepentingan seperti industri, agensi kerajaan dan sebagainya. Sebab untuk Pprn ni sebelum kita boleh memohon grant ataupun apa-apa yang melibatkan kerjasama industri dan akademia, kita perlulah adakan hubungan yang akrab dan rapat. Sebab kalau dah rapat, kalau dah kenal antara satu sama lain, maka lebih tinggilah kebarangkalian untuk projek tersebut berjaya. Okay, jadi ini sedikit sharing session berkenaan aktiviti-aktiviti, inisiatif-inisiatif dan juga projek-projek yang berkaitan. Okay. Dan saya adalah, nama saya Saiful, dan seperti yang nyatakan di situ, sebenarnya Saiful Anwar Karsani, dia tertinggal nama tengah saya, tak apa. Yang seperti dikatakan, saya adalah pengarah eksekutif Institut Pengurusan dan Perkhidmatan Penyelidikan ataupun IPP secara ringkas. Jadi untuk kebanyakan universiti lain, IPP ini dikenali dengan nama RMC atau RMU. Basically, kami mengurus dan memantau penyelidikan yang dilakukan di universiti dan juga terlibat dengan perancangan strategik berkaitan hala tuju penyelidikan dan juga permohonan grant di universiti. Next slide. Okey, kalau kita lihat kepada visi dan misi Universiti Malaya, visionnya adalah a global university impacting the world. Dan kami faham untuk mencapai impact ni perlu ada kerjasama yang rapat di antara penyelidik dan penyelidikan yang dijalankan di universiti dan juga pihak yang berkepentingan. Sebab kalau kita duduk short sendiri dalam lab, lalas tak jadi apalah. Kita dapatlah paper, dapat accreditation, dapat citation dan sebagainya, tetapi impact kepada masyarakat kurang. Dan saya rasa antara spirit Pprn ni adalah kita menyelesaikan masalah bersama, menghasilkan hasil yang berimpak tinggi kepada masyarakat. So yang kita lakukan aktiviti tadi ni adalah berpandukan kepada spirit ini. Dan missionnya, of course adalah pushing the boundaries of knowledge and nurturing aspiring leaders. Dan bukan saja untuk dapat impact ni kita juga perlu melakukan penyelidikan yang baik dan berkualiti tinggi. Okay, next slide. Okay, antara aktiviti ataupun inisiatif yang dijalankan di Universiti Malaya, ini ada banyak lagi, tapi saya highlight 5 yang saya rasa banyak kesan lah untuk membantu partnership ni. Yang pertama adalah IIRG. Ini adalah skim grant dalaman yang dinamakan Impact Oriented Interdisciplinary Research Grant. Kita juga ada IDIG, Universiti Malaya Industry Driven Innovation Grant. Kita juga ada sesi-sesi engagement seperti Universiti Malaya Research Gallery atau UMRG dan juga Universiti Malaya Research Carnival UMRC. Carnival ni ada baru lepas satu pada awal tahun, iaitu 8 Januari. Dan kita ada jemput semua universiti dan juga pihak swasta dan agensi kerajaan hadir untuk melihat apa yang ada di Universiti Malaya. Selain daripada itu, kita juga ada satu unit yang dinamakan Universiti Malaya Community Engagement Center ataupun UMCAS. Okay, next slide. Kita terus kepada struktur Impact Oriented Interdisciplinary Research Grant. Jadi kalau kita lihat kepada kebanyakan grant-grant biasa, strukturnya adalah research fundamental yang mendalam dengan sedikit kolaborasi dengan industri dan sebagainya. Tapi IIRG ni strukturnya berbeza di mana apa yang dilakukan adalah mengenal pasti masalah dahulu. Dia kena tengok kat mana dia nak impact dulu. Lepas tu baru dia cari partner yang sesuai dan cuba selesaikan masalah tersebut. Okey. Jadi kita cuba mengadakan paradigm shift di kalangan pendidik Universiti Malaya. Dan ini telah pun dimulakan pada 2019 dan alhamdulillah hasil daripada penyelidikan bawah skim IIRG ada banyak pencapaian yang boleh dibanggakanlah bagi pihak kami. Next slide. Sebagai contohnya, next slide please. Okey, kata apa? Next slide. Okey, contoh yang pertama adalah projek pulih. Okey, ini antara projek awal daripada tahun 2019 dan pencapaiannya agak baik. Ini adalah ahli-ahli penyelidikan projek pulih dan tajuk projek ni adalah projek pulih Mending Broken Reefs. Walaupun tajuk dia tertumpu hanya kepada macam very fundamental, nak baiki terumbu karang. Tetapi sebenarnya projek pulih ini adalah berkait dengan food security, terutamanya sumber protein seperti ikan dan juga makanan-makanan laut. Sebab kalau terumbu karang hancur, dia tak ada tempat tinggal, semua mati. Okay, so nampak macam fundamental tetapi dengan engagement dia punya outreach sebenarnya besar lagi. Next slide. So ni problem statement dia, 75% daripada terumbu karang dunia adalah dalam keadaan kritikal dan tertekan dan boleh musnah pada bila-bila masa. Dan kaedah-kaedah penambahbaikan terkini tidak cukup baik untuk menyelamatkan terumbu karang. Okay, jadi projek pulih mengenal masalah ini dan engage dengan orang-orang yang sesuai untuk cuba menyelesaikan masalah ini. Next slide. So, dia punya investigation seperti berikut, macam mana nak menambah baik coral ni hidupkan balik, umur coral dan juga peranan sea urchin dalam memastikan coral reef selamat. Okay, next slide. Dan hasil daripada itu, mereka telah pun mengadakan 3 sub-program untuk setiap satu. Ada projek Nurin, projek Shima, next slide, dan juga projek Suri. Dan kesemua-semua ni menyelesaikan 3 masalah tadi. Dan industri-industri partner yang telah pun berjaya ditangkap oleh projek pulih ni adalah seperti berikut: RHB Islamic, Rawa Island Resort, Oka Nation Summer Bay, Leh Tengah Resort dan juga Coral Coup. Okay? Yang banyak bawah tu banyak yang terlibat kepada industri pelancongan. So selain daripada food security juga melibatkan industri pelancongan, dan RHB Islamic pun walaupun nampak macam bank tetapi sebahagian daripada CSR dia terlibat juga. So menunjukkan bahawa walaupun projek itu nampak macam fundamental tetapi dia punya impact adalah kepada food security dan tourism industry. Kita boleh dapat sokongan daripada pihak industri secara banyak jugalah. Next slide. Dan ini adalah antara award-award yang dimenangi oleh projek pulih. Bukan saja cemerlang daripada segi kolaborasi, dia juga dapat beberapa award lah. Contohnya finalist for the best public service announcement, Special Merit Awards dalam short films yang dibuat berkaitan dengan projek pulih. Sebenarnya video dia ada kat YouTube. So kalau you Google projek pulih nanti ada 6 video keseluruhannya. Okay, next slide. Okay, itu adalah projek pulih. Dia bawa IRG. Kita juga ada program lain dinamakan IDIG. Ini adalah projek-projek co-creation dengan rakan-rakan industri. Sebab seperti mana yang kita tahu, kalau kita start projek dan kita lakukan bersama daripada awal, dia lebih kuat daripada tiba-tiba kita ada produk, jumpa partner nak jual. So itu yang cuba diketengahkan melalui IDIG. Next slide. Okay, dan tujuannya adalah untuk enhance collaboration and co-creation between academia and industry. So the direction is very different. Sebab we realise macam saya cakap tadi lah, dia kalau bersama ni lagi baik lah. Next slide. Okey, ini adalah senarai contoh-contoh IRG yang ada pada dalam tempoh 2 tahun. Secara keseluruhannya kita ada berapa tu 9, 10, 11 30 projek kesemuanya, dan total funding adalah lebih kurang 2 juta, dan daripada funding ini 50% adalah daripada Universiti Malaya dan 50% adalah pihak industri. So memang betul-betul co-creation, dan di sebelah kanan tu disenaraikan industri-industri yang terlibat bersama-sama dengan tajuk projek yang terlibat. Dan kalau dilihat di situ jelas bidang penyelidikan tu amat meluas. Dia bukan terhad kepada contohnya air purifying dan sebagainya, tetapi banyak juga solution kepada industri yang betul-betul dapat meningkatkan produktiviti, menambah baik produk dan sebagainya. So again, ini satu inisiatif yang agak berjaya. Limiting factor dia duit je lah, sebab dia 50-50 kan. Kalau tak ada duit tak boleh buat lah. Okay, next slide. Setelah kita dah ada banyak-banyak projek ni, dan kadang-kadang di universiti terutamanya kita ada banyak projek yang baik, tetapi dia punya uptake kurang. Dan salah satu sebab uptake kurang ni bukan disebabkan oleh quality projek, tetapi lebih kepada semua projek tu kita duk sorok aja kat universiti. Tidak diberitahu kepada umum, tidak diberitahu kepada stakeholders, tidak diberitahu kepada pihak industri. Oleh itu UM juga mengadakan beberapa inisiatif seperti UM Research Gallery ini, di mana kita adakan pameran. Kita ambil produk-produk yang terbaik yang kita ada pada satu-satu masa, kita buat di Dewan Pameran dan kita jemput semua orang datang tengok. Pada masa yang sama kita juga ada pitching session bersama industri, dan of course penyelidik terpaksa dilatih untuk pitching kepada industri dan sebagainya lah. Dan next slide please. So itu tak apa, ini adalah objektif dia. Next slide. Dan ini adalah aktiviti-aktiviti dan juga beberapa komen yang kita adakan, dapat daripada yang kita anjurkan lah. Dan cara kita anjurkan ni adalah dia team base, setahun 3 kali. Contohnya yang terdekat ni bulan 3, nanti kita jemput. Dan tema dia adalah health and well-being. Maksudnya innovation atau produk yang ada akan dipamerkan adalah yang berkaitan dengan health dan well-being. Okay. Kemudian kita ada beberapa tema lain lah. Macam saya cakap tadi, akan ada juga forum, akan ada juga pitching session, in other words, untuk membolehkan interaksi antara akademia, industri dan rakan-rakan yang lain. Next slide. Ini lagi yang kita dah pamerkan. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, selain daripada itu, 2 tahun sekali kita ada UM Research Carnival. Dia sama je konsep dia lebih kurang macam IRG, tapi lagi besar. Dan ini kita jemput masyarakat setempat, industri dan sebagainya untuk tujuan yang sama. Macam yang terbaru ni adalah Januari dan turut dihadiri oleh Menteri Pendidikan, Sri Khalid Nordin, dan kita berpeluang selain daripada berdialog dengan industri pun dapat berdialog dengan dia sikit lah, dapatlah juga. Okay, next slide. Dan dia sama dengan UMRG tetapi dia lebih besar, provide platform for researchers to network and engage with industry, community, government entities and policy makers in order to promote the quintuple helix research and innovation ecosystem. Okay, next slide. Dan ini adalah antara aktiviti-aktiviti yang ada kat situ. Kita bukan hanya buat research, ada juga buat societal engagement macam explore race tu, macam terajahan, tengok UM, mengenal UM dan sebagainya. Kita juga ada pitch session seperti yang tulis di bawah tu. Pitch session ni untuk pelajar, untuk pensyarah, untuk pelajar undergraduate, semua ada. Dan pada masa pitching ni, memang kita panggil pihak industri Dan yang berjaya akan diberikan geran penyelidikan yang sedikit untuk memulakan penyelidikan masing-masing. Okay, next slide. Dan ini adalah antara paparan media, ada media konvensional, ada media sosial dan juga komen daripada mereka yang hadir pada UMRG lah, UMRC. Next slide. Okay, saya pun ada kat situ, tu kat tengah tu. Baju tak sama color tapi tahu. Next slide. Okay. Dan akhir sekali adalah berkenaan dengan UMCAS ataupun Universiti Melaya Community Engagement Center. Next slide. Dan tujuannya adalah untuk bekerja dengan masyarakat through community engagement project, strategic targeting of demographic groups within the community and by strongly involving community members. Dan pada masa yang sama, ini sponsorship dia ada juga ada sebahagian dari UM dan sebahagian daripada industri partner juga. Okay, next slide. Contoh projek yang berjaya adalah daripada Dr. Muhammad Sayuti. Ini adalah berkenaan dengan mengatasi atau menangani masalah drug addiction. Jadi selalu kita ada mereka yang ketagihan dadah, bila dia dah cuba berhenti, dia berhenti sekejap tapi dia start balik. So projek ni dia ada kodon dispenser tau, dia a replacement, a surrogate for drug yang dia boleh ambil dan dia mengurangkan ketagihan dadah. Dan geran untuk projek ni telah terima sebanyak 460,000 dan buat masa ni telah pun berjaya diutarakan kepada lebih kurang 83 bekas penagih dadah. Okay, next slide. Next slide ni tak apa. Okay, ini contoh aktiviti yang dijalankan lah. So belah atas tu, sorry bukan kodon, methadone dispenser. So dia datang, dia ambil, dia minum tu and dia mengurangkan ketagihan dadah. Dan selain daripada itu, ianya bukan hanya berkenaan dengan methadone dispenser, ianya juga berkenaan dengan aktiviti lain yang melibatkan pihak-pihak yang berkepentingan. Seperti pelan tanam pokok, sedikit spiritual guidance, keagamaan dan sebagainya. Next slide. Ini pula adalah Urban Garden for Sustainable Livelihood oleh Dr. Ros Azlin. Geran lebih kurang 192,000 dan berkenaan environmental development. Dan number of beneficiaries adalah seramai 154 orang buat masa ni. Next slide. Next slide. Ini berkenaan dengan berkebun di kawasan bandar lah. Untuk luang yang sikit, so dibantu untuk makanan-makanan harian macam sayur-sayuran dan sebagainya. Dan dia menggunakan sedikit produk WM dalam bentuk biochar contohnya. So sekali lagi ianya melibatkan kolaborasi dengan pihak-pihak industri dan juga pihak setempat untuk membolehkan kita menyampaikan apa yang kita ada kepada masyarakat. Jadi kalau dilihat kepada kesemua projek-projek dan inisiatif-inisiatif ini, ianya melibatkan engagement ataupun pertemuan bersemuka dan juga perbincangan dengan pihak industri, dengan pihak berkuasa tempatan dan sebagainya. Dan ini kami yakin boleh mewujudkan projek-projek yang lebih targeted. Dia bukan macam buat sendiri-sendiri dalam lab tapi tak tahu siapa nak ambil. Kita dah kenal pasti dah apa masalah dia dan daripada situ kita cuba selesaikan masalah tersebut dengan kepakaran yang ada di universiti. Dan saya rasa ini way forward untuk kami lah. Dan memang projek-projek yang baru ni semuanya kami memang cuba buat engagement dengan pihak-pihak yang kita target tu. Dia tak boleh lagi buat research simply for the sake of research. Sebab Malaysia bukanlah negara yang kaya raya yang boleh buat macam tu. Apa-apa yang kita buat ni mesti ada solution. Dan kalau nak solution tu berkesan, memang kena engage dengan pihak berkepentingan seperti industri dan juga pihak berkuasa tempatan. Next slide. Okey, saya rasa sampai situ dulu masa ni. Tapi kalau ada yang berminat untuk mewujudkan kolaborasi, perbincangan dengan Universiti Melaya, bolehlah menghubungi kami di alamat tersebut. Yang tu akan pergi straight ke office saya dan kita akan cubalah matchkan dengan siapa-siapa partner yang bersesuaian dan sebagainya. Kita tak ada projek yang terlalu kecil atau terlalu besar, semua kita sanggup terima. Dan insya-Allah kita akan maju bersama untuk membangunkan Malaysia yang lebih cemerlang di masa akan datang. Okay, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera.
Majlis merakamkan jutaan terima kasih kepada yang berusaha Profesor Dr. Saiful Anwar Karsani. Majlis menjemput yang berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Wan Nur Hayati Wan Abdul Rahman selaku pengarah program untuk menyampaikan cenderamata. Hadirin sekalian, dengan berakhirnya sesi perkongsian tersebut, maka tamatlah program Taklimat dan Pameran Public Private Research Network 2.0. Duduk termenung di tepi muar, menongkat dagu di atas papan, andai kata tersilap bicara, kemaafan jua kami pohonkan.
Dan bagi pihak jawatan kuasa dan urusan majlis Universiti Putra Malaysia dan Kementerian Pendidikan Tinggi, saya ingin merakamkan ucapan ribuan terima kasih kepada para hadirin sekalian di atas kesudian tuan-tuan dan puan-puan para hadirin sekalian menghadiri majlis pada petang ini. Jika ada kesempatan, kita akan bertemu lagi di lain waktu. InsyaAllah, dengan ini saya sudahi majlis ini dengan kalimah wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh dan kita jumpa lagi.